Hello, and Randy here. Time for another John Deere 2510 video. That's right, or actually maybe a couple videos, Evan. We got a couple things to work on here for the tractor. First thing for today's video, though, we need to see if it'll start. It's like a balmy, I don't know, 24 degrees out or so, everyone. Good layer of snow out there. I think this will be the coldest cold start we've done on it here yet. And of course, as you folks know, this tractor does not like to start in the cold, and no diesel does. Actually, no vehicle really does at all, but diesels in particular don't like it. And this tractor does not have any sort of cold start assist on it, other than the ether injection, which I have removed. I know, brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Yeah, ether injection is kind of hard on motors. I mean, you can do it right. But so we're going to see if it'll start without ether. Hopefully it will. If it doesn't, I didn't bring any ether with me, so I'm going to have to go back and get some. Hopefully the battery will hold out. Basically, we should just be able to crank it over, and a couple minutes of cranking, and it'll probably start. Basically, we just need to get a little warmth into that block from cranking, and once we do, it'll fire right over, I'm pretty sure. So, with that in mind, everyone, let's fire it up. Started. It's a John Deere. It is definitely cold there. Thought I had it after the second go around there, but not quite, I guess. It's kind of, I would say, pretty typical. It takes about 3 rounds of starting when it's cold before it finally. Oh, hey, now it's rolling. Now it's rolling. Okay, everyone. Well, we're waiting for the tractor to warm up here for a few minutes before I move it here. I thought I'd talk about what we're going to be doing today. First off, I brought along the wrench here this time, everyone, so I can turn the heat on. I got my battery cables hooked up here, so hopefully we'll be going home in style this time, right? And that, everyone, is what we're going to be working on here today, hopefully, is the heat part of this. I know a lot of folks were in the last video there, I was kind of talking about the heat, were saying, I told you so, that that was not going to be able to run the heater. Well, actually, I think most of the folks were more concerned about the air conditioning and not the heater. What I have to say, everyone, is I think I can say I told you so. The setup here runs the air conditioner here, everyone, and that is what I designed it for. It did not occur to me, everyone, that the heater here would take more power than the air conditioner by a factor of almost double. And a factor of double is what I had factored in for the air conditioner here. So, yeah, that was not quite planned for, everyone. It did not. I did not realize. I probably should have tested that. That the heater would take that much power. The heater, of course, we're talking about is the heater up there. Hopefully you can see that there. I forgot my tripod, everyone, so I'm holding this by hand. But hopefully today, everyone, we're going to hopefully try to get a little more power out of that alternator. I don't think we're quite getting the 200 amps out of it, because if that alternator one is producing the 200 amps, we should have enough power for the heater. I'm just assuming here probably maybe the RPMs are not high enough on the alternator to get that kind of amperage out of it. So we're going to be working on that today, and I'll show you folks what we got in mind for that. Let's see, what else? I've got some other stuff for the tractor here as well. I probably won't get to it this video. I'll run it probably the next couple videos. I got a windshield wiper for the front. What else did I get? Yeah, we'll be working on the heater, windshield wiper. I think I got some other odds and ends too. I'll have to look. I've been kind of working on collecting stuff here for the tractor, everyone. So, yeah, like I said, we'll let it warm up for a couple more minutes here, and then we'll move out. Looks like we finally have some heat coming out of the motor here. The coolant temperature's going up, running about 1,500 RPMs at the moment, at least according to this gauge, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. It's really the only thing I have to go by, and that really needs to be replaced. But what makes me think, everyone, that we can get more power out of this alternator, the light for the alternator does not go out until we hit about 1,500 RPMs. So I'm thinking we need to turn that alternator over faster. I mean, this is a tractor, right? You put this in your vehicle. Normal vehicles, what? You can get 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs out of. This tractor tops out at, well, according to the gauge, 2,500. So, yeah, so we'll show you folks what we got in mind for that. You know, I wouldn't offer like a good spin in a tractor here on a nice snowy day. It's kind of pretty outside when it's like this. By the way, pretty much running the tractor wide open here, everyone, so I keep the heat going here. It is going. It's starting to warm up in here, but oh, it's taking a lot of power. A lot of power. I guess you can't see that real well. It's reading 12 volts there. 12 volts. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, how come you got the coolant there? And yes, everyone, I could run a heater into that coolant. I could do that. The reason I don't want to do that is, one, I have this up here. This produces heat. I'm not super happy with how it produces heat, but it does produce heat. And then the second thing, too, if I have to get into the coolant, I need to run coolant lines up into the cab, and it starts making it more difficult to take the cab off, everyone. One of my goals with this was to make sure it's still easy to take the cab off, because in order to work on anything on the tractor, you pretty much have to take the cab off. And I know removing coolant lines probably wouldn't be that hard, but if we can make this work, this will be a lot easier. If we can make it work. So we'll have to see once, everyone. Pretty sure we can. It's just, I might need a bigger alternator yet. The shop here where we have the heat crank, not too bad in here. For those who wonder, by the way, why I'm wearing a different coat, well, if you watched last video, that's why I'm wearing a different coat. So yes. Anyway, for starters, everyone, we're going to start by working on the alternator here, and for that, I've got this. I don't know, can you see this? Yes, this compared to that. This compared to that. Now, we might have to do a little bit of work to get this to fit on here, but I'm not sure. We'll have to pull that alternator off and check that, see what's what we're gonna have to do. I'm not sure yet, but we're gonna start there. Okay, everyone, got the original pulley off the alternator here. That, of course, was this one here. Didn't actually go too bad. It was stuck on a little harder than I thought it would be, though. And this is, of course, going to be the new pulley we're going to try. Pretty sure it looks like they are the right size. Yeah, right size pulley there. This, of course, is about half the size of the current one. I measured this one, it's about 3 3/4, 4 inch, somewhere in there, everyone. And this one is, at least when I bought it, it considers it a 2 inch. So boy, that sure looks smaller than 2 inch, everyone, but that's what it's supposed to be. So looking at this, I'm gonna have to drill the hole larger, because that's what we actually had to do with this one too. If you remember, everyone, back when we put this one on, we had to drill the hole larger in it, because this has probably some sort of metric nonsense shaft on it. And I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing with this one. Also, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to shave this part of it off here. I don't really need that part, so plus that it's gonna be too big, too thick with that on there, because I need it. Well, at least I think I need the nut on there yet. I guess I could maybe get away with this. There's no key on this shaft, is there? So no, I think I'm definitely gonna want the nut on there. So we'll end up drilling this a little bit larger. I forget what size I drilled that. It can be the same thing with this one. And there was a key on this one too, wasn't there? I forget, did we drill it or did we mill it? I think I drilled it, everyone, but I don't remember. I might have milled it too. We'll see once here. Well, it looks like the drill bit size I used last time was 21/32. That one fits. The next size up doesn't, so I think we're going to do the same thing with that one. And then, like I was saying as well, I'm going to have to see if I can figure out how to cut this part of it off here, this part here with the Allen set screws in it. Again, I don't think we can use that with this, although I could probably, if I like put it on this way. Yeah, no, probably not, because I still don't have a set key in there, so that's probably still wouldn't be a good idea. Nope. So we'll figure out how to cut that off. Probably, what would be the best? Probably just angle grinder, to be honest. I'm going to probably just take an angle grinder, try to be real careful, keep it with the face of that there, and cut it as straight as possible. I think that'll work. But first, or should I cut it first? Should I cut it first? Because then I don't have to drill all the way down through. Now, I think I should drill it first time, because this will give me something on the bottom here to grab onto, and then we'll cut it off. Yeah, I like that idea, because this when I can grab onto this, I don't have to worry about destroying this part, and then we can cut it off when we're done. I think that'll be the best way. Drill to the right size. Now I think we'll see if we can cut this part off here. I just got it clamped in the vise. That was the best way I can think to do it for now, everyone. And no, I did check. It does not fit in the lathe, everyone. That was my first thought. Ooh, lathe. But no, it doesn't fit, unfortunately. So we're like just a little bit too small on the lathe there to grab around that. And there's no way to grab it from the inside. Well, no, the hole in the middle is not big enough to grab it from the inside. So, yeah, I think what I'll do, we'll cut it as far as we can this way. I'll flip it over, clamp it again. It's probably going to close the cut, but we'll see how that goes. And we're just going to kind of cut it as close to this as we can, as straight as possible. Keywords, as straight as possible. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I can see I got a little bit high right there. I can maybe touch that with a grinder just a little bit. See if I can smooth that out. Like I said, that doesn't look too bad. Again, I'm not going to get it perfectly straight, but I don't know that it needs to be perfectly straight for this. We'll probably put this side up against the alternator. I was thinking this side should still be, flat, and we'll just bolt this side. At least that's what I was thinking. I don't know. We'll see once here. Okay, well, it looks like we got it figured out here. I am going to have to put this side on towards the alternator here because I need enough space to put the nut on there. If I put it on this way, everyone, I don't have enough space to put the nut and washer on there. I could probably get the nut on there, but I think it'd probably be a good idea to put the lock washer on there too. So it looks like we're going to have to put it on that way. And that should be straight enough, I think, Evan. I did smooth this out a little more with the sander there. And put that on. I think that'll work. I don't see why not. Now, the observant ones of you are probably already detecting a problem here, everyone. Yes, this belt, most likely, yes, it probably will be too large. I already know that, everyone. And I just figured I better do this first. That way I know what size of belt I need to get. I'm thinking probably like a 48-inch belt. If I understand it correctly, everyone, this is a 52-inch on there. I'm guessing 48 inches is what I'm going to need, I think. Don't know yet for sure, everyone, but we'll figure that out. So, never know. Maybe this belt will work. I doubt it, but you never know. Well, everyone, not sure I 100% like it yet, but the clanging, by the way, is this just shield down here. If I put this up here, then it'll be fine. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now, let's see if that belt will fit. I doubt it will, but you never know. Oh boy, when it might just fit yet. I mean, it's right almost to the end, not quite. We got just a little bit of space there yet. You see that? That might just work. So I can at least test this, and then we can go from there. Cool. And just like that, we're back together here. That one was almost too easy. Oh, look at the size of that pulley. That just, that is small. That is small. One consideration here is this pulley might slip. Yes, I have thought of that, everyone. We'll have to see once. If it does, I figure we can maybe somehow engineer like some sort of pulley up in here to kind of maybe press down in that belt, get a little more belt around it here. We'll see once here, but I think we should be pretty good. I pulled it as tight as I could, and we'll see once what happens, everyone. We'll see once what happens. Being that this alternator is probably for, like a car, everyone, it's probably designed to be spun over just a little bit faster to get the higher amperage. At least that's what I'm thinking, everyone. And we're going to go from there. Worst case, if this still doesn't work, everyone, I've been looking at better alternators. First off, better, and then second off, higher output. So might go that route yet. We'll see once if this one will do the job. Well, everyone, since that went so well, I think we're going to start on the next project here. And for that, I have a 500 amp relay and a 300 amp fuse. If you remember, everyone, back when we did the inverter inside this box here, I've got 250 amp relays and two 150 amp fuses. Those don't seem to be able to quite handle the current there, everyone. So I'm stepping it up to one of each. So one 500 amp. I guess that's 500 amp, everyone. Yeah, yeehaw. And then one 300 amp fuse. Now you're probably thinking, well, 300 amp, that's the same as two 150s, right? I would think so too, everyone, but I don't think it is, because there's no way, everyone, we're drawing 300 amps here for that heater. That's just not possible. So 300 amps should be big enough. I debated about going 200, but or maybe 250. I'd say, 300. We'll just go 300. And if we blow that one, everyone, I don't know. Maybe we are drawing 300 amps. I don't think it's possible, but I suppose it is. And just real quick inside the box here, everyone, these are the wires that came with the inverter, which it says very specifically to use, which I'm going to ignore that. We got 250 amp fuses right here, and then down below there we got 250 amp relays, and then of course it would go into the inverter here, except they're obviously not connected right at this point. But I do have this wire on here connected. That's how I had heat earlier when driving this home, by the way. I'm going to take this back off. I might have to make up a new wire. We'll see once here, which means I might have to check and see if I got enough connections. I'm not sure on that. We'll check that here as well, but potentially maybe new. I'm just going to use one wire here, Evan. I went online and found a calculator here for this, and based on that calculator, 2-gauge wire should be sufficient for this. Even if I'm pulling 500 amps, this wire should work, because we're only what? I figured out 18 inches on the calculator, but I don't think we're even 18 inches here. We might be close to 18, but not much over that. So I'm going to get those out. I'm going to take those out. I'm going to take this out. And we'll go from there. Speaking of which, this is probably still on yet. Yes, I don't want that on. Nope. Is that the right button? Oh, that was the right button. Cool. Okay, well, that is all finished here. Unfortunately, I left this one just a little too short here. I was hoping to like mount this up right here, but it doesn't quite fit. I was gonna like double-sided sticky tape it to the side of this. I can still move this over closer this way and make that work. I just need to shorten this one up. I should have added more to this one, shorten that one. Oh well. Anyway, for those of you not sure how this works here, when I turn the key on, the key will turn on the relay here, which powers the rest of the tractor. And then this relay here, which will power the inverter here. And then, of course, I got a fuse in between, and then there is a fuse down there, which that one is tripped. Did I accidentally do that, or did something happen? Oh, anyway, that one down there was tripped. I don't know if I tripped that or something happened, not sure. But anyway, we got that back on. So that's how that's going to work, everyone. So when I turn the key off, that takes the power away from the inverter. That way the inverter shouldn't be drawing down the battery, you know, when the tractor's not running, because that is obviously a concern with these inverters. They have a tendency to do that. They draw just a little bit of power, or sometimes a lot of power, and yeah, really it can wear the battery down if it's even if it's not running. So you don't want to do that, or you want to make sure this is off. But even when it's off, it'll take power. So therefore, I got that on a key. Disconnect. Boom. Don't have to worry about it. Hopefully, in theory. So everyone, I think we need to test it. See how the alternator does with a smaller pulley, and see how that does. Okay, it should fire right up here, I would assume, because we did have it running here just a little bit ago. Plus, it's warm in the shop. And here we go. Oh, yeah, right to life. Huh, must have lost power there, unfortunately. That's a bit annoying. That keeps happening. Oh, look at this. Look at this, everyone. We got power already. Haha. Yes, that is doing the trick already, everyone. Used to be at idle, that light would be on. and we wouldn't have any power from the alternator, which, you know, didn't concern me too much, because again, this tractor like doesn't really use a whole lot of power unless we're using something up here, right? But no, idle, we got power. That is nice, everyone. That is good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, the question is, will we have enough power? I don't know. We'll have to find that out next. Well, everyone, I think it's time for the moment of truth. Do we have enough power for the inverter and the heater yet? Running about maybe 1,800 RPMs there from the looks of it. I've not turned the inverter on, so let's do that. Okay, inverter should be on. Of course, the inverter itself doesn't really draw any power if it's not in use, so we're still maintaining 14.6 volts here. The real question is, when I hit this, what happens? Oh, 13, 13.4. 13. 12.9. I'm not maxed out at RPM yet, so I still got a little bit to go yet. 12.7. Okay, 2100 PTO speed. Oh, 14.6? Okay, this must have kicked off already. Or we flipped the breaker. Yeah, look at that, 300 amps, everyone. Flipped the breaker. What? Back to the drawing board here, I guess. At the very least, we seem to have alternator working at idle now, so that's good because we got 14.7 volts there, and it says it's 1,000. Yeah, I don't believe that gauge when it says that, everyone. I don't think the idle on that gauge is working quite right, but we got 14.7 volts idling. We didn't have that before, so that's good. Smaller pulley helped with that. We don't seem to have quite enough power at the top end yet when we're running the heater, unfortunately. That doesn't seem to be quite producing enough power. Not to mention as well, we're also popping the 300 amp fuse. I don't know, everyone, but I don't believe it's using 300 amps. I find that impossible. Per the inverter, when the heater's on here, everyone, it's drawing 1,700 watts. 1,700 watts. That's roughly, I think if you do some basic math, that's what, maybe 17 amps, right, everyone? 17 amps, 120 volt AC. Keep in mind AC there. So 1,700 watts AC. Figuring some rough, calculations, emphasis on rough here, everyone, and maybe some loss on the inverter side. We shouldn't be pulling more than 200 amps, maybe. Technically, it should be maybe 150 to 170 amps at the most, which is still a lot, everyone. Don't get me wrong, that's still a lot of power, but yeah, it shouldn't be blowing the 300 amp fuse, everyone. That does not make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. And then again, the inverter says 1,700 watts, everyone. I don't know what this inverter takes at 1,700 watts, but it shouldn't be 300 amps, everyone, unless this is like a super inefficient inverter, which I find that hard to believe. Again, I might figure some inefficiency, everyone, but not that much. That's a mite ridiculous. So, anyway, on that note, everyone, I guess we're going to wrap it up here. Again, everyone, thanks for watching. We'll have to kind of go back to the drawing board for that fuse. I don't know why that's not working, everyone. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I guess if someone has some good theories onto that, let me know. But anyway, hope you folks enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more. Again, we got more work coming up for the 2510 here yet, everyone. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.